It's greatness.
Hey, it's Carter Hutton here, NHL goalie, and coming up on the episode of I Only Touch Greatness.
One thing, did you ever play with any of our Canucks? Garland or...
No, I never played with Garland.
OEL?
No, he wasn't there. They were already gone. I'm trying to think who was. I played with Roussel, Beagle,
Okay.
Roussel and Beagle. Great guys.
So that would have been after they went from Vancouver. They would have been part of that trade.
Yeah, they were part of that trade. Yeah, because that was after in Arizona.
Yeah.
And then what other legendary Canucks? I know Ryan Johnson, Thunder Bay boy.
Yeah, good kid.
Taylor Pyatt, Thunder Bay boy. I know Taylor really well.
Do you have any good stories about Vancouver?
Vancouver. Oh man.
Roxy.
I'm trying to think. Yeah, the Roxy. I've been to the Roxy a few times. That's always one that that's more my kind of place too. I never liked going to the clubs. That was never my thing. You know, we'd always end up there because that's where the guys wanted to go. And but yeah, the Roxy, nothing too crazy for me in the Roxy. I think most of my fun was had stateside. I think when we lived in Nashville, we always had a ton of fun. Nashville was a great place to go because there was always a party on my 3 years there, and nobody cared who you were. Right. So it was cool you're on the Preds, but it wasn't you weren't worried about what you did and what everybody was, that Canadian market's a different animal.
True, but also Nashville, there's you got the country singers are more popular than you anyways.
Yeah, for sure. But there was no lack of fun to go around for everybody. That's for sure.
Okay. What do you do now that you're retired?
So I actually, I kind of do I do a little bit of training. I train some goalies. Nothing crazy. Just, there's 5 or 6 elite kids here in Thunder Bay, 15, 18 years old. So I get on the ice with them a little bit. And then I own a lot of real estate here in the city. So I don't do it. That doesn't really fill a 9 to 5. So I kind of have a business partner, a close friend I grew up with. And then the other thing I have an interest in is I own a wine brand in Nashville. So we own a strip mall and some land, and we have a brand that we sell to about 400 different places. So that's kind of been cool seeing it grow. And again, I got a partner down there. So it's called Love and Exile. And it's growing big. It's been cool. And we own some land right by where the Titans are building the new stadium. So it's going to be hopefully a lot of good things to come for a lot of years.
You have a favorite sports franchise? It doesn't have to be hockey.
It doesn't have to be hockey. Favorite sport franchise. I love the Blue Jays. I love baseball. I went to a game this weekend. That kind of brings back a lot of childhood. Hockey, I was a Wings fan growing up, actually. Hockey's always kind of been my love. My dad was a huge Wings fan, Stevie Y. And those years with him and Fedorov. And so I got getting to know Scotty Bowman in my Chicago years when I was in Rockford and the AHL and NHL. That was really cool. I remember one time Scotty coming over and chatting with me and giving me props after a game I had played really well was something that sticks out to me too, because it was just an absolute legend, right?
Of course, another one. We're roughly the same age. I'm 40, so everybody grew up with that dynasty of the Red Wings and Darren McCarty and Draper. A couple of beauties. I've had both those guys on the podcast. Were you ever in any goalie fights?
Yeah, I got in one. I got in a few in junior, which wouldn't be anywhere recorded. But I actually got in a really good one in when I was playing the American League. I was playing for the Rockford Ice Hogs, and we were playing the Grand Rapids Griffins. And it was Peter Mrazek, who's went on to have a heck of an NHL career. So it was pink in the rink night. So we had pink jerseys on. The ice was pink, and it was raising money for cancer, and it was family weekend. So we had all the family down. And
now here we go. We gotta have a goalie fight. Carter Hunt's gonna jump in. Here we go. Everybody's gonna go. Hunt's gonna trap him with Mrazek. We got ourselves a line brawl. Back at the blue line, Beach is still pounding a Griffin. Now going nuts. Back on Lashoff. I believe it's Sean Malone. Hunt and Mrazek. Now everybody coming off the bench. As Beach, here we go. We got a bench clear.
We're getting shit pumped. It's 6 dudes. And our coach puts out our heavyweight guy, a bunch of guys, and says, tells them there better be fireworks. And I was hot because we had given up 3 penalties in a row, and I was just getting absolutely roasted. And puck drops, everyone starts fighting. It was actually Kyle Beach is fighting. The guy ended up with all that shit with the Hawks there. and Riley Sheehan, I think, was in it.
Hey, I had him on I had Riley on the podcast. Love that.
Did
guy.
you? Yeah, Riley's amazing. I ended up getting to play with Riley in Buffalo for a year. Great guy. I became good friends with him. And Wade Brookbank, the legend.
Yeah.
He's playing for us. And this is like Brookie's like a legit tough guy. Like he's in the American League. I think we always joke that he just got that contract that year because he wanted the health insurance because he was having a baby. And so he goes down and he's one of their D-men, little D-men on Grand Rapids. So everybody on the ice is fighting at this point, and he's beating up some defensemen. I don't think he took his gloves off. He just kind of like was like toying with the kid because he didn't want to destroy him. And Mrazek skates out of the net and tries to like hit Brookbank. So Brookbank throws him down, and I come flying down, and I ended up just like giving it to Mrazek. So it was pretty funny, a pretty lopsided fight. But he was a young kid from Czech Republic. I don't think he had much experience fighting, so I definitely had the edge. They grabbed me, throw me in the penalty box. The video of it's on YouTube. It's actually a great.
There we go.
It's a great clip. It's actually really funny. I come flying down. The announcer's like, and here comes Carter Hutton. And so after the game, I think I got like maybe a 1-game suspension or whatever. And I remember talking to my agent the next day, and he was like, "So how was the fight? Was it good?" And I was like, "Yeah, I did good." He's like, "Yeah, you did good. That's good." And then he's like, "Don't ever effing do it again." And I was like, "What?" And he's like, "If you want to make the NHL as a fourth liner, just let me know. You're a goddamn goalie." And I was like, "Okay, so I guess I shouldn't be fighting."
Holy, you really slowed that one, huh?
Yeah, no, that's okay though. I stayed in my sweet spot. If you're like a 150-pound kid from Czech Republic, that's my sweet spot for fighting.
That's just it. I'm gonna try to find that video and drop it in. What is your favorite city and road barn, best and worst?
Favorite road like rink?
Yeah.
Oh, man, that's tricky. I've had a lot of like success-wise. I love Pittsburgh. I don't know why. I always played well in Pittsburgh, but like not. I gotta say, I love the Bell Center. Like when it's packed in Montreal, it just has this like historic feel to it when you get in that rink. You're playing the Habs, and it's like, even though the Leafs is good and like other Canadian cities are really good too, I don't know what the Habs does to me. It's like I feel like I'm playing back in time kind of thing. Worst rink? Probably I hated Florida. Because like you go to Florida and there's just like, especially you're playing if it's like a Tuesday night and like nobody's there and the ice is shit and it's like it's hot as balls outside. You don't really feel like you're playing hockey. So it's just kind of a weird.
Nobody wants to be there.
Yeah, it's just a weird feel, right? You're trying to get up for a game when you're playing like, you're playing the Canucks on a Saturday night. There's like, any Canadian city, you're getting up for that game.